So this is a Bailey Unicorn Black Edition Pamplona. Just going to take it around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, jockey wheel, hitch, handbrake, etc. is all something we'll go through in person here on site, and also the ATC and the hookup lead for the car. On either side of the van at the front, you've got a wind down leg just here, where that little cutout is, to stabilise the caravan while you're using the caravan on site. We've also got the water pump connection on this side. So behind here, I want to lift this up, pump, very simply pushes into the side of the van, and the actual pump itself drops down into the aqua roll, and then the cap on here just pulls down so it locks the pump in place. Then got the heating and hot water gas flow for the side of the van, a bit like you've got on the side of your house, and that is essentially to let the gas system breathe and to let any heat come out the back of the unit, and essentially let the system breathe from the inside or to the outside of the van. Then got your gas locker, so your gas bottles in here. I'll quickly open it up so you can see what it looks like in that. On top of the bottle, you've got your gas valve on top here, on and off gas supply. You've got your reverse thread gas fitment that goes into the bottle, and your regulator up on the side of the van there. The wheel nuts will be tightened before you leave site with the caravan, so you can see they've been tightened correctly to 120 Newton meters. You've then got your grey waste pipe, so you've got the fresh water that goes in the front, it has to come out of the van somewhere, and that is the grey water that comes out the side of the van, so that's from your sink and your showers, not from the toilet system itself. However, above that you have got the toilet waste tank, and in here, to release the toilet waste cassette, pull the orange handle up and pull the cassette towards you. The neck here turns out to allow the waste to tip away, and you've got your orange pressure relief button on the back of the toilet cassette, so when you are tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. On top here, we've got the toilet flush tank that takes 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid. The toilet cassette at the bottom takes 1 litre of water and a cap full, and when I say cap full, I mean the grey cap on here, of the blue fluid. On the back of the van on either side, you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan. So as you can see here, we've got the legs either side of the van. On the side of the van, you've also got you've got a flap here, so you can turn on power if you need. What would have been for a motor mover, no motor mover fitted on this van though. That would have been for a previous customer having that mover fitted. So that switch there is completely irrelevant to the caravan itself. Fridge vents behind the door, as you can see. Fridge vents here to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit. Got a 3-pin socket here so you can run power out to your awning, and also if you want to run a telly into the awning, you've got an aerial point just there. Underbed storage for the front of the caravan. Mains electric in, and your barbecue gas point. As you can see, we're now on the inside of the caravan. So as you come in the door, you've got your main power switch for the caravan. You've got master power, your water pump runs, which I'll go through in a moment. You've got your light switches for the inside of the van, so that'll turn all the lights on and off inside, and also your awning lights on the outside of the van. First thing you're going to need to do is fill the water system up, and as you can see, I've already got the cushion up on this side to demonstrate that. Down the back, just down the back of here, there is actually a yellow valve. It's a little bit hard to show you with one hand, holding the camera. But the yellow valve that's down there is the drain down valve for the water system on board the caravan. That yellow valve would need to be parallel with the floor for you to be able to fill the water system on board the van. If you had that valve pointing upright, it would actually drain all of the system down, and you'd have no water left inside the van or the hot water tank on board the van. You have actually got, that's the hot water tank, sorry. And at the front you've actually got your onboard water tank. So that tank at the front actually allows you to carry extra 40 litres on board the van. We do recommend that you drain that down, again, before travelling really. And down the side of that there is actually a black valve to drain that system down. And you will actually notice at the moment it's actually in the open position because I haven't filled that tank up just due to how cold it's, and that's just due to how cold it is due to get tonight. So to fill the water system with the aqua roll connected on the outside, you'd open all the taps up on the hot side, which as you can see I've already filled the water system, but you'd open all up on the hot side, so that's the sink in the kitchen, sink in the bathroom area, or the shower room area, and the tap on the shower also, all open on the hot side. Then if you wanted to fill the onboard water tank, you'd need to go to internal, and that would fill the big black tank down at the front of the van, down in that corner. Or if you wanted to run straight to the taps through the hot water tank, So basically the way I've got it set up now, with just the aqua roll coming through the taps to the hot water tank, sorry, you'd actually put it onto external just here. Once you've got the water system full on internal, you can actually put this switch back in the centre and it will actually make the taps run. When you open up the tap, it will actually still run the water system as you'd expect it to. However, normally I'd leave it on external and just run from the aqua roll. I don't actually normally use the onboard water tank itself, just because it takes quite a while to fill that up. Then you have to fill your aqua roll again, etc. Once you've got that water system full, you'll have water coming out of all the taps on board the Caravan. And when that water system's full, you can actually start warming the water on board the Caravan. So this control panel up behind the sink, this black control panel, you've got power on and off on the left hand side, and it'll indicate to me here that we've got mains power coming in and the current room temperature of the Caravan. If I press menu just here, it'll take me into the options. So here we've got 22 degrees, which is the current room temperature, or the room temperature we're aiming for it to warm up to. Below that you've got your water on, so you select your room temperature by going minus or plus to set the room temperature. This little bar here is actually to indicate that the water is turned off at the moment when it's completely see-through as it was here. So you can see the background colour. If I press the on, that's water on. Then water boost when that bar is completely full. Below that, we've got the option to run heating and hot water on board the Caravan. So what I mean by that is you actually need to turn on the amount of power that's coming into the Caravan to control the heating and hot water. Just here where you've got the power symbol here. So you can select 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts. Here on site we can only run on 1 kilowatt. So like I said, heating and hot water, you'd need to select the power source that's coming into the van. Now most sites will run electric hookup. If they're an off-grid site, then you'd use gas only, and I'll go through that in a moment. But here on site we can run 1 kilowatt, as I said. Some Caravan sites will allow you to run up to 3 kilowatts, and you would need to ask at the site office when you arrive on site to how much power you can use for your heating and hot water. Down the bottom here, you've got the option to ignite the gas system for the heating and hot water. So for instance, if you're on a site with only 1 kilowatt and you want it to warm up a lot quicker, I would advise you turn the gas on, or if you're off grid, you'd use gas solely as a power source. So that is your heating and hot water control panel. When you're here on site collecting the van, we will actually be able to run through this in a bit more detail if you have any questions on it. Next up, I'm just going to run through the hob, just so you can see everything ignites as it should. So that's your hob ignited, as you'd expect to see. I'm going to show you the grill operating now, so you can see that is working as it should. So I'm going to put the camera down for a moment. Be able to ignite it. I'm sure you probably heard that ignite. But as you can see, that is working as it should up in there as well. Last part for the cooker is the oven. As you can see again, that has ignited also. We're going to go over to the fridge next. The fridge is very simple to operate. Got mains power on. And at the moment, as you can see, it's trying to ignite on gas. So if it ignited on gas, the blue light here would stay solid blue. And if it failed to ignite, it would actually flash, and it would also flash the red warning symbol on this end. If you ever need to try and reignite the gas system, you press and hold this reset button here, which will actually restart the system for igniting. 240 mains, so if you've got 240 mains connected to the Caravan, you'd use this as a power source. And if you're connected to the car and you want to use the fridge as a cool box, you can select 12 volt mode on the end here. What it's doing at the moment is letting me know there is no 12 volt source connected at the front of the car. And if it made the noise like this on gas, it means it has failed to ignite. We'll go back to 240 for now. To control the temperature on gas or mains, you've got the temperature control just here on this button here. And if you want to control the freezer temperature, you'll press the freezer button just here. It will go across as you can see here. It'll illuminate the freezer compartment, and then it will bring up the option on this side to cool the freezer. If When I click back off that, it will just control the fridge temperature again. However, the freezer will kick in as well at the same time. To be honest, the freezers won't completely freeze like you have a freezer at home, for instance. It is more there for chilling and potentially freezing water, but I wouldn't expect it to keep a full chicken, for instance, completely frozen. Not unless it'd been on for a few days already prior to you putting it in there. In the bathroom, we've got the toilet system, so you've got the electric flush, which we explained how to fill from the outside. Then down below you have the grey toilet waste handle here, which you can press across to allow the toilet waste into the toilet cassette itself. In the bedroom, the bed actually pulls out from the bottom to make it full length, as you can see here. And then the cushion at the back, or the back piece of the mattress, will actually drop down into the back there in the gap to allow the mattress to be full length. You can also push it back in, and if you want to access the storage underneath, you can lift it up. And that's also where the table is for the Caravan. You'll also notice there is actually the original water tank that comes with the van to fill your water system from the outside. So that's the Bailey Unicorn Black Edition Pamplona. If you have any further questions on this van, please don't hesitate to give me a call here at the Caravan Company, and I'd be more than happy to help. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the Caravan.